everybody. Gosh, it's not every day you get to stand up in front of a room full of 200 people. But I know I can do this because I am very passionate about the Center for Active Living. It really is the center of it all, isn't it? For so many people. It really is. I have the great honor today of speaking about why it's important to me and why I give personally. I want to give you a little backstory. I am the baby of 8 children. Yeah, I'm the baby. And my mom was nearly 50 when I was born. And what that means, basically, is I never got to know my grandparents. And I always felt very slighted by that. In fact, I think it shaped me to always want to be around older adults and seniors. I can't remember a time in my life where I didn't think about seniors and want to be near them or work with them or just be a part of their lives. In fact, when I was 10 years old, I used to sneak up the road to this care facility near my house with a gaggle of my girlfriends. That we'd sneak in the side door and we'd go visit with the residents. Now, I know those of you that work in senior care are probably horrified by that. And that wouldn't have happened in today's day and age. But it was okay at the time. And I think they knew that we loved it and that the residents loved it. And they just let it happen. So I relocated to West Seattle in 2011. And one day I was invited to Rainbow Bingo at the center.
It's all over that.
Well, that was it. It was all over for me. I was hooked. I was like, these are my people. I need to get involved. And so I did. So at the urging of my friend Karen Pfeiffer Bush, where are you, Karen? It all started with you. She invited me to be on the Equity and Inclusion Committee. And I said yes. It was my first committee ever in my life. And that's where I met my dear, dear friend, Dennis Jackson. Where are you, Dennis? Dennis and I co-chair that committee now. I've gotten to know Dennis and his beautiful wife, Cynthia. And I've even gained another sister in Christine Milkovich. Yeah, another sister. We became fast friends, and our friendship is blossoming. And I'm so grateful for you, Christine. I really am. And then in 2022, I joined the board. So my first board experience, and let me tell you, it's amazing. It's another way to give back. What I've learned is what it takes to run a nonprofit and just how much energy and effort and bravery and courage and all the things. And Amy Lee and her staff are doing a beautiful job running that. And I feel so fortunate to be a part of such an organization, truly. But what if, it's obvious who's doing well at the center. What if relationships are hard for you? What if putting yourself out there is just too much? One day, I went to the center for lunch. And there was a gentleman next to me, and he seemed to want to engage, although he was a little guarded. Well, he kind of opened up, and I chatted with him and asked him questions. Before I knew it, I knew that he was married for 60 years. His wife had passed. He was having a really hard time, and it was the first time at the center, and he thought he would give the cafe a try. So at the end of that conversation, I stepped away, and I said, would it be okay if I gave you a hug? Well, he said yes. And he said, thank you. That's the most connection I have had in a very long time. He just needed to be seen and heard and valued, right? Who doesn't? So when I think about who benefits from the center, I think about my mom. She never took time for herself. She never even took an exercise class. She always did things for others. I think about that guy, right? He just needed a place to hang out, and I hope he's still going. Maybe he's here, I don't know. But he loved the soup. If Chef Hala's here, he loved the soup. I think about the Meals on Wheels folks. I think about the folks that are shut in and they can't get there, but they know that Tony or Josh are going to show up and see how they're doing and ask if they're doing okay. And I think about me. I give back now with my time, but I'm still working, so I can't hang out there a lot. But I want to hang out all day at the center. I want to paint on fabric with Uncle Lloyd, right? So you better be here for a long time, mister. I want to spend more time there. So I want you to think for a minute about who in your life benefits or would benefit from the center. Maybe it's a grandparent or a mom or a dad. Maybe they've even passed and you wish they would have had a place to go. Maybe it's a neighbor that you know isn't doing very well. Maybe they're falling behind on things. Or maybe it's you. Maybe it's time for you to be a member, for you to go to the cafe and have lunch and meet friends there. But what I will say is we need the center to exist for years to come. We need it to thrive, and that takes money, right? So if any of this resonates with you today, I ask you, think about those people in your life and make a donation. Big or small, it all adds up and it all matters. We need the Jewel of the Junction to be around. It is the center of our community. It is the heartbeat of our community. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and for being a part of it. Thank you.